Today we're really fortunate to be able to talk with a patient who's had a rhinoplasty and who also happens to work as a operating room nurse, and so she gets to see a lot of patients before and after surgery and talk with them. And what we want to do was to just ask some basic questions. And I think the first one would be, what do you think makes it easier for patients going through their rhinoplasty? What can they do before surgery to make the whole experience easier?
I think the top thing is to do some research. Find a good surgeon and feel comfortable with them, and know that going in you are in good hands and that your result will be what you're hoping for. Look into what's to be expected after the surgery so that there's no surprises.
Right. In the week before surgery, you got all your prescriptions filled. What other things did you do to get ready for the surgery?
For me, I had meals prepared. I have small children, so I had family members or my husband planning on taking care of the children for a little while after the surgery, and taking time off of work. But everything, went smooth. I was prepared and knew what to expect.
Okay. Now, what about the day of surgery? What do you think patients do to reduce their anxiety, or what can they do? What should they expect to happen when they get to the surgery center?
When you get to the surgery center, your paperwork will be filled out. They'll take you in the back. Know that you're in good hands, that everyone there is there to take care of you and make sure everything goes smoothly and answer any last minute questions that hopefully have already been answered, but it helps ease your mind a little bit, knowing that everything you've planned for is going to happen as scheduled, and your IV will be put in, and you'll talk to your anesthesiologist and your nurse, and Dr. Daniel will come in and make some markings, and before you know it, you'll be done and waking up with a brand new nose.
Well, tell me one thing. I guess one thing that patients always want to know, is the IV going to hurt? And then two, do you remember much about what actually transpires?
The IV doesn't really hurt. It's maybe a little pinch at the moment. I know that there's anxiety about a needle, but it's really not bad. Anything that lasts for that short a time, it takes just a minute to put it in.
And with the use of Versed, do many people really even remember leaving the pre-op area?
Barely. I remember saying goodbye to my husband and just getting through the doors. I don't remember really much after that. Next thing I know, I was waking up and they were reminding me to not touch my nose and just breathe through my mouth.
And when you do wake up, some of the patients have said it's like you were swimming underwater and all of a sudden you pop up and then you kind of go back. Or is the recovery pretty straightforward, or what goes on?
The recovery room?
Right.
I remember waking up in the recovery room. I remember people talking around me. It was a very gentle wake up. I wasn't scared or frightened. Just the monitors were put on, and then I could just rest peacefully and wake up gradually. It wasn't a scary situation or uneasy at all.
Okay. And what about we've kind of told patients over time that plan to kind of take it easy for the first couple days, and then after that, the cast comes off in a week. Or is it the first couple days that are an issue, or how much pain is involved, and what is your thoughts about that?
I was actually quite surprised. I've obviously seen the surgery many times, and I was expecting quite a bit of pain. I was surprised that I had very minimal pain. I remember taking a couple of pain pills, but other than that, I just remember just feeling like I had a very bad cold.
Okay. And so you didn't take all your pain pills. You switched over to Tylenol or something like that.
Something much, yeah,
okay.
Over the counter.
And so then at about a week you came back and had your cast off. How was that experience?
The cast off was exhilarating. I was looking forward to that day. I wanted to see what the product actually looked like underneath that white cast. So Dr. Daniel took out the nasal splints that were inside, the Doyle splints, and then took off the cast, and it was like no person was being born at that time. I was so excited to see the bump gone, everything.
Great.
Put a big smile on my face.
It looks like it still does.
It sure does. I love it.
Now, what did your friends say? Could they tell right away, or the ones? What was the general reaction, and what were some of the funny reactions?
Some people I didn't tell what I was doing. Obviously, my family knew, my parents, so they were very excited. My neighbors that didn't know, they didn't see me for the first couple weeks. After that, they thought maybe I took a vacation. I looked a little different, but they weren't sure what. Like, they couldn't pinpoint it. People I've told since then, in the last 10 years that I've had my nose done, not one person has said, "Oh yeah, it looks like it's been done." It's been very natural. It was just me in a better way.
So what we would call a California enhancement.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. I think it will give a lot of patients a lot of calm them and make them more excited about going through the process.
It was great. I would do it again, and I don't regret anything. Dr. Daniel is top-notch with skilled hands. Love him.
Thank you so much.